What is up, everybody? It is Wick here. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've sold in the past month. These are all real sales, real stuff you can find out in the wild. Obviously, the more good stuff you list, the more sales you're going to get, the more money you're going to make. But this is an example of what I'm selling and what's working for me. All this stuff was found at garage sales and thrift stores like Goodwill and rummage sales, flea markets, stuff like that. Some of the clips in this video, I'm going to have a raspy voice because I'd lost my voice at one point. All better now, it seems. So if you're curious on why I sound that way, it was because I was sick. And if you do enjoy these types of videos, be sure to hit that like button for me. But let's jump into it. Here are 22 vintage Hardy Boy paperback books. I got these at a garage sale for $2. Sold them for $50 plus shipping, and they only took about 3 days to sell. And it was some good fast profit for me. So I sold something up here on the shelf, and it's this Power Rangers Samurai Megazord. Now this has been listed for a long time. I can't even remember exactly where I got this, but I priced it high because I liked it. Didn't really care if it sold, one of those kind of items. And it sold for $70 plus shipping. I know I got a bunch of these at a garage sale one time. I don't know if this is one of them. I got some at rummage sales. I think even Goodwill. Don't have much into it, I know that. Time to let it go for $70 plus shipping. Sold something up here on the shelf, a really nice sale. This right here, a vintage Extreme Dinosaurs. This one is a rare one. I sold this for $270 plus shipping. I paid $1 for it. When I picked it up, I didn't even know it was worth that much. It was that rare. I just picked it up because it was vintage, in good condition. It was only $1. You don't see these very often. It just turns out to be probably the rarest one. Took about a year to sell it, but I priced it higher because I liked it. Wanted to get full price because it is rare. It sold $270 plus shipping. Incredible flip. Here is a wireless pet safe containment system with the collar. Got this at a garage sale for $15, and I sold it for $120 plus shipping. Only took about 4 days to sell. I love finding these. They always make money if you can get them at a good price. Here is a Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock set for PS2. Got this in Goodwill for like $6 or $7. Sold it for $80 plus shipping. Only took about a day to sell it. Here's a Wilson baseball glove. Got this at a rummage sale for only $1. Was able to sell it for $45, and it took about 2 days to sell is all. Here is a Back to Life massager. Got this at a garage sale for $7. Was able to sell it for $90 plus shipping, and it took only about a day to sell. Shipping is a bit high on these. I think the buyer paid $27, and they have a great sell-through rate, so certainly a good item to keep an eye out for. Here is a Light-On DVD recorder. Got this at a Goodwill between $5 and $10. It's been listed a little over a year. Took a while to sell. Sold it for $50 plus shipping. Made some profit. Here is a National pressure cooker. This is from the 20s. I got a couple of these at a rummage sale. Paid $10 a piece for them. Sold this one for $70 plus shipping. Only took a couple days to sell. Nice quick flip. The other one's bigger, and I have it priced a little bit more, so we'll see how fast that one sells. Here's a nice flip. I got these Nike shoes, Vapor Maxes, at a thrift store, $5. Was able to sell them for $90 plus shipping. They did take a year and a half to sell. That's mostly because I had them priced really high at first. These sell new for around $200, so I had them priced $120 and just started lowering the price every few months. Looks like the sweet spot was $90. So this was a good pickup. I got this faucet at a rummage sale. I believe I paid $5. It wasn't much money. This is a $400 to $500 faucet new. It's one of the waterfall ones. And this is new. It's just open box. It's kind of just thrown about in here. So I just took pictures of the parts and everything and just kind of sold it as is, open box type deal. And I still got $175 for it. So it took about 6 months to sell. Just a phenomenal rummage sale flip. Here are some Disney books. Got these at a thrift store for 10 cents a piece. So got like $2 or $3 into them is all. Sold them for $30 plus shipping. And it took about 5 months to sell. Here's a pretty rare rock band guitar, Warriors of Rock. Got this at Goodwill for $5. Unfortunately, it has a little bit of damage. The whammy bar is very loose. It hangs down. So I just sold it for parts and repair, untested. And I sold it for $40 plus shipping. If it was in better condition, I tested it and everything, I probably could have sold it for around $100. But still make some great profit on it, and it took less than a month to sell. Here's an old Sony Betamax. Got this a few years ago at a Salvation Army. It's just been in the death pile. When I first bought it, I didn't have a Betamax tape to test it, so I was looking for one at a garage sale or somewhere. Eventually I got one and then just never tested it. Unfortunately, it does not work. If it was working in good condition, it'd be about a $300 unit, but still was able to sell it for parts. Sold it for $80 plus shipping, and it sold in about a week. So made some decent profit for paying $20 for it. Picked up a Mr. Coffee tea maker at Goodwill for $5. It also had an extra pitcher with it, which was new and unused. I sold that separately for $25 or $30. It sold very quickly. Then I sold this part of it for $40 plus shipping, and it took about 4 months to sell. Picked up this egg incubator at a Goodwill for $10. It is used, the box is damaged, it was pretty dirty. Because of that, I listed it lower than I was planning. Sold it for $40 plus shipping, and it sold in less than 24 hours very quickly. So despite being used with dirt and some wear, it still sold very quickly at that price. Sold this Warhammer book. This one is a bit rare. I found it at Goodwill for $2.99. Was able to sell it for $55 plus shipping. Took about 3 months to sell. In general, many Warhammer items are worth quite a bit of money. Sold some more of these Craftsman screwdriving sets. Got about 40 of these from Lowe's. Got around $5 a piece into them. Sold it for $19. Gonna have to go to storage and get some more out because I am about out of them here. Once they all sell, it's going to be some great profit. Here's this truck and RV fan. Got this at Goodwill, new sealed for $12. Sold it for $30 plus shipping. And it took about 4 or 5 months to sell. Here's a McDonald's Happy Meal Fisher Price. It's vintage in great condition. Even has a few pieces of the food in there. It's definitely not complete though. Found this by digging in a box at a garage sale. Paid a quarter for it and sold it for $25 plus shipping, and it sold in about 3-4 days. So great profit for only paying a quarter. Here are 4 blank vintage hats. Looking at the order though, it looks like somebody bought 2 of these, so 8 total, so I guess I sold both lots. Got a bunch of these at a rummage sale. I've just been selling them throughout the past year. $40 plus shipping. I think I have some green ones left is all now. Here is a Pyrex piece. Not a great buy on my part. I paid a little bit too much for it. I paid $15 for it. I was doing some fast research and I saw some that sold for $45, $50, but there's just way too many that were priced between $20 and $25 to realistically ever get that price. I did sell it for $25 plus shipping, and it took about 3 months to sell. Here is a GE flipping roll clock. Paid $20 for this. Probably shouldn't have paid that much just because it has some cosmetic damage on it. It does work. I had to lower the price. Sold it for $40 plus shipping. It only took a couple days to sell. So probably could have squeezed a bit more. In good condition, they sell for about $60. Faceplate is also scratched up pretty bad, so I made some profit on it, and it didn't take long, so I'll take it. Here's a wireless Xbox controller. Got this at Goodwill for $5 and sold it for $29. Free shipping. This one sold in about 8 hours of me listing it, so made some quick money. Here is a zip drive. This is one that goes inside of the PC. It's not a USB one. I've sold the USB ones many times before for really good money, and they keep going up in price, it seems. Since I don't have a way to test this one easily to put it in an old computer, it's just kind of been in the death pile. I think I got it really cheap at a rummage sale or garage sale. I can't even remember now, but I come across it, just decided to list it as untested for parts and price it lower for $40 plus shipping. Tested and working, probably be closer to $80 I would have sold it for, but still made some great profit on it, and it sold in about 2 months. Here are a pair of women's Timberland boots. Paid $10 for these. They're actually probably never worn, almost certainly never worn. Are missing the tags in the box. But I was able to sell them for $40 plus shipping. Thought they were going to be worth more, but this certain style number just wasn't really selling, so I priced them a little bit lower to get a quick sale, and I did get a quick sale because it only took about a week to sell them. Here's a pair of Sperry Topsider Gold Cup shoes. They got that woven design. Good condition. Got these at the thrift store for $5. Able to sell them for $30 plus shipping, and they took about 6 months to sell. Got a bag of whistles sometime last year and ended up selling a few of them for some really good profit. Seems like I sold one right around $100. This one sold for $30. It took about 10, maybe 12 months to sell, but this is all pure profit now because I've definitely made my money back on the whistles, so happy to see it go. Here's a vintage 1970 Baby Beans doll. Got this at a garage sale for only a quarter. It is in very good condition. for the age. So I priced it a little higher than some of the other ones on there. I priced it $30 and it sold in about 3 to 4 days. Great profit for only paying a quarter. Here's one of the Xbox controllers I picked up at Goodwill for $6. Already sold the other one. It sold within just a few hours of me listing it. This one took a week. Exact same controller. Sold it for $30. Here's a Nintendo DS game, the new Super Mario Brothers. It's complete. Got this with a bunch of other games and a Nintendo DS for $20. Sold this one for $24 and it took about 3 hours to sell it. These came from a Fisher-Price Loving Family Dollhouse. I got this at Goodwill with a bunch of stuff for $5.99. The Dollhouse was missing the balcony doors, and since it's so big to ship, I'd have to price it lower. I just decided to part it out right before I ended up listing it. Here's the first set of parts that have sold, and they only took a couple days to sell. Sold them for $15, so this gets me my money back. Everything else here on out is pure profit. Here's a Nintendo DS game, Mario Kart DS. This came in the DS lot I got at a garage sale for $20. Came with a bunch of games and a DS. Sold it for $24, free shipping. Took a couple hours to sell is all. The price video games like this, good ones anyway, the right price, they usually sell within a day. Got these Petty Light shoes. Don't remember where I actually got them at this point. They were just in really good condition. I never tried to sell them before, so I thought I'd give them a shot. Sold them for $20 plus shipping. Took around 6 months to sell. These Hooked on Phonics workbooks are probably some of the longest items I have listed. I think they've been listed for about 8 years or more. I made the mistake of trying to part them all out rather than sell them all together, so I've just been selling some every now and then throughout the years. Some I bought 2 of them for $8.99 a piece, so happy to see 2 more go. Maybe in 8 more years, all of them will be sold. Here is a Kohler shower head. Got these at Home Depot. Down to my last one. Sold it for $60 plus shipping. Got about $20 into it. Took about an average of 6 months to sell. Here is a pair of New Balance shoes. Got these at Goodwill for $5. Sold them for $28 plus shipping. It took about 3 weeks to sell. Sold some vintage antique Tarzan books. Found these this past summer and I was pretty excited to find them. I remember in the haul part of the video I was estimating some pretty high profits on these. I really should have looked at them closer though because they are in terrible shape. They're all old library books. Some of them's missing pages. There's stains. They're not the oldest ones, which are worth the most money, and almost half of them was not even Tarzan, it was Bamba, which is similar to Tarzan. I think I paid $15 for all of them. I broke them into 3 different lots. This first lot I did an auction on and it sold for only $20 plus shipping, so got my money back on these. Probably get around $20 on each of the other lots, but since I paid so little for them, I'll make some okay profit. Here's this foam Goofy hat. Got this at Goodwill for $2.99. Sold it for $30, free shipping, and it took about a month to sell is all. Not a bad flip. Here's a pair of Nike shoes I had priced $30. They ended up selling with 10% off where I sent out offers. It's about $27 plus shipping. Paid $5 for them at a garage sale. They took about 4 or 5 months to sell. Here's a pair of New Balance shoes. Got these at a thrift store for $5. Was able to sell them for $30 plus shipping. They took about 2 months to sell. Here's a pair of San Antonio Shoe Company shoes. Got these. I don't know where because I pick up so many. I do know I would not have paid over $5 for them. Sold these for $20 plus shipping, and it looks like these took around 8 months to sell. Here's a waterproof leg protector. Put this on if you have a cast and want to go in the pool, I guess. Got this at a rummage sale for $1. Was able to sell it for $25. Took about 6 months to sell. Here's a Nike baseball glove. Got this at a garage sale for $2. Was able to sell it for $25 plus shipping. Took about 7 months to sell. Here are 4 baseball gloves I sold. I allotted these together just because they're gloves I picked up randomly at like garage sales or rummage sales for dirt cheap. We're talking like a quarter or $1 or less. Get them home and they're just not really worth selling on their own. Mostly because they have some damage. This is a Regent glove, which they don't sell very well by themselves. Here's a nice Louisville Slugger glove, but some of the laces are ripped. This one has writing on it, that kind of thing. So I just put them on eBay for $30 plus shipping, and they sold in about 3 months. I'm sure all these gloves I got like $5 or $6 into is all. If that, so still made some great profit. Got 6 of these Resell helmets at an estate sale. One of them was new. I paid $20 for all of them. I was going to sell these two separately, but they're just not in great condition. They got some scrapes and scuffs on them, so sold these two for $20 plus shipping, and they took about a month and a half to sell. At a garage sale, I got 3 X-Mods cars with the remotes and accessories. I believe I paid like $20 for all of them. Sold this Camaro set for $60 plus shipping, so that puts me into the profit nicely, and it took just under 2 months to sell it. Here is a Drew House skateboard. Got this at Goodwill for $4. Was able to sell it for $36 plus shipping. Took about 4 months to sell it. Got a couple of these Cobalt power cleaning kits at Lowe's on clearance. I believe I paid right around $35. Sold one for $85 plus shipping. Took about 6 months to sell one. I'm thinking about pulling the other one and just keeping it to use. Made a decent profit on it. Here is a Spider-Man figure. I got this at a sale quite a while ago. It's been listed for like a year and a half. I think I paid like $15 for it or something like that. Ended up selling for $50 plus shipping, so made some money. Didn't really expect it to sit that long, but hey, it sold and I profited. Here's a baseball glove I got for a couple bucks at a sale. Sold it for $20. Just one of those bread and butter type items. Easy to list, easy to ship. Here are these Auto Art Chrysler Panel Cruiser cars. Got these at Goodwill for $2.99 a piece. They're not in great shape. The packaging isn't in great shape. They are new. I bought them because they were so cheap. Auto Art is actually a really good name. They make some $100, $200, maybe even $300 cars like this. Unfortunately, these just aren't very desirable, even if the packaging was in better shape. So I sold them both together for $40 plus shipping. Actually, I didn't think I sold them for that much. So for having $6 into them, sold them for $40 plus shipping. Not bad, and they only took about a month to sell. Here's a Honeywell round manual thermostat. Got this one at a thrift store for $4 or $5. Sold it for $50. Took a couple months to sell is also not bad. Here are some doors off of the Loving Family vintage dollhouse from Fisher-Price. Bought one of these for $6 at Goodwill with a bunch of pieces. Parting it out. Sold the doors for $20, and they sold pretty quickly within a week. Some of these parts are selling faster than I thought they would. Here's a vintage Mighty Ducks hat. Got this at a garage sale for $25. Unfortunately, it's a youth size, and the design is not as cool as some of the others I've sold for like $60 to $80, but I was still able to sell it for $25, and it took about 10 months to sell. Here's a pair of San Antonio Shoe Company shoes, Vivas. Got these at Goodwill for $5. Sold them for $28 plus shipping, and they took about 2 weeks to sell. Here is an Ab Mouse. This is a vintage exerciser for abs. Found this at an estate sale for $5, maybe like $2 or $3. I know it wasn't much at all, and it's new. That is why I bought it. I priced it $50 plus shipping, and it has now sold. Took about 9 months to sell, so made some great profit on it. Gonna be pretty easy to ship. I'm just gonna slap a label on it. Here's a pair of Nike shoes. I believe these came from one of the rummage sales. I paid either $1 for them or $3 for them. Sold them for $25 plus shipping. Took about a month and a half to sell. Here's an Excalibur chess game I got at a garage sale for $1 or $2. I picked these up a lot. Some of them sell good on Amazon. Some of the models could sell for $40, $50 pre-owned. This particular one wasn't great. It's one of the early ones, just kind of the basic ones, but still was able to sell it for $15 plus shipping. Took around a year to sell. Made some money. That's what counts. This has been listed over a year. It's an Imaginext Fisher-Price Jurassic World dinosaur. It's brand new. I remember I got it very cheap, which is why I just bought it, because something like this new for $2 or $3, there's some money in it somewhere. Not a whole lot of money. I sold it for $15 plus shipping. For paying a little bit for it, I still made good profit. Here's a Bearcat scanner. Got this at a garage sale for $5. Ended up selling it for $30 plus shipping. I was going to sell it for quite a bit more. It was just missing the antenna. It did have a windshield antenna, so marked it down, $30 plus shipping. It sold in about 3 weeks. Here is a bag of random little people from Fisher-Price. I paid $5 for these at a garage sale, and I was able to sell them for $30 plus shipping. They took about 6 months to sell. Here's a pair of Skechers work shoes. Got these at a rummage sale for $3. Was able to sell them for $40 plus shipping. That took about 8 or 9 months to sell. Made some good profit. Here's a hat I sold. This has been listed for a while. I don't remember a whole lot about it. Probably got it at a rummage sale for cheap, $1 or less. Sold it for $18. so not a bad flip. Here is a kitchen living turbo convection oven, kind of like a small new wave. I picked this up brand new at a rummage sale for $5, which is why I picked it up. It was only $5, but I was able to sell it for $30 plus shipping. Took about 8 months to sell. I'm glad it sold because I don't think there was any sold comps when I listed it, so I knew it was going to be a little bit long tail. Sold these commode liners. I got these at Goodwill for $5. I sold them for $20 plus shipping. They took around a year to sell. I don't know if I'd buy them again. I remember there being some on eBay for like $40 or $50, so I was hoping I could get more for them. Still made some profit. They're sold. I'll take it. Sold a couple of these Craftsman Impact screwdriving sets. Ended up going to my storage and getting the rest of them. I had 11 left. I raised the price $1 and they started selling better. So sold both these for $20 a piece. Of course, I got a bunch of these on clearance at Lowe's for around $4 or $5 a piece. Here's a pair of Solomon Speed Assault hiking boots. Got these at a thrift store for $5. Sold them for $65 plus shipping. They took about 8 or 9 months to sell. Sold these Solomon hiking boots before. They always go for good money if in good condition. There it is, everybody. That's what I have to show you today. Hopefully you learned something. If you do enjoy these sales videos, hit that like button on the way out. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're selling, how your sales have been. I know this time of year sales are generally lower just because of spring and summer. People are doing other things and buying. However, the sales seem to be a little bit lower than previous years. That could just be me because I had 2 surgeries and was sick twice and missed out on about 2 months of listing. So that definitely affects my sales, but let me know in the comments how your sales are. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, flipping_junk. And this has been Wick. Until next time.